What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, Donald Trump is assembling the most powerful conservative dream team in American history? Well, tonight we're pulling the curtain back on the strategic genius that's about to transform our government. From Florida's Senate showdown to the appointment of Katie Miller to Doge, every move is calculated, every position critical. Byron Donalds, Ashley Moody, Jack Lombardi. These aren't just names, they are pieces on a chessboard that's about to flip the Washington establishment upside down. But here's what the deep state doesn't want you to know about Trump's master plan. See, Americans are tired of watching their government age poorly, just like their skin. But while Trump's new appointees prepare to slash government waste, you can fight the visible signs of aging with BioTrust's advanced collagen formula. Unlike bloated bureaucracy, this scientifically proven blend works efficiently, combining 5 essential collagen types to rejuvenate your skin. Visit healthwithgary.com for 51% off plus free VIP coaching, a free skincare ebook, and a 60-day guarantee. Just as Trump's team will transform government, this collagen will transform your skin. Don't wait. Visit healthwithgary.com. It is linked down below. And we thank our sponsors for keeping this show going. So I got an interesting phone call yesterday. And it is, we've been talking about what's going to happen with this Senate seat in Florida. And with what just happened with Matt Gaetz and that investigation that was leaked out, listen, the headlines are bad. Just what the internals of that report are bad. I looked at it and listen, there's really no coming back from that. Okay. And that's why Matt Gaetz is taking his shot on One America News with a show. You heard me advocating for Gaetz when he was appointed to the AG role. You heard my disappointment when he backed out of it. And then I said, maybe this is the play, put him in the Senate. That's the play. Well, certainly I was wrong. But now we're finding this. The Senate race in Florida has just been blown wide open. Matt Gaetz is out after the leaked ethics report and his media pivot. Lara Trump has officially backed out. That was the other name that everyone was saying, oh, he's going to, DeSantis is going to appoint Lara Trump. And she's pulled out. Now, here's what's interesting. And I had a feeling, it was a consideration, but I never thought that it would actually hold water. But when she left the co-chair of the RNC, it actually put some weight behind that concept that she could potentially take Rubio's seat. As you know, Rubio's going into the Secretary of State position. Again, not where I would put Rubio. But anyway, so everyone's like, oh listen, she's out of the RNC, and well, maybe it's because DeSantis is going to appoint her to the Senate. Okay. And then she does this. She's backed out. So what's going to happen next? Well, now there's names being floated for that Senate seat, Byron Donalds and Ashley Moody. Now, according to insider sources that have spoken to me exclusively, Byron Donalds and Ashley Moody are the names being whispered in the halls of power. Both are serious contenders, but what deals are being made behind the scenes? This is the battle for Florida's future. So, Donald Trump, Governor Ron DeSantis are obviously pulling the strings for Florida's next big moves. Senate gubernatorial races are colliding, and the stakes could not be higher. This is a big, big change because DeSantis, he is termed out of his position. So what happens next? Does DeSantis go to that spot? There was talk of Gaetz moving into the, running for governor. But listen to this. Sources are now naming Jack Lombardi as a potential replacement for Byron Donalds. So Byron Donalds is appointed into the Senate. Jack Lombardi is the most qualified candidate to go into Byron Donalds' position. Okay? Now, this is a special note. Florida 19 is a safe Republican territory with an R+13 rating, making it perfect for Byron Donalds to step up and Lombardi to take over. So what else is happening? This is what you guys may not know. Jack Lombardi is no stranger to battles. He took on Adam Kinzinger, who, as you know, is a traitor to conservatives, and emerged stronger than ever. Jack Lombardi is from my state of Illinois, and now he is in Florida, and he is strategically positioned to run in that space for Byron Donalds. And guess what? He saw my post, and he's confirmed that he would go on running in a special election. Look at the post right there. Yes, I would strongly consider running in the special election. Think about that. This is the guy we need in that position. But it gets better. There's even more. We've got this. Katie Miller will be joining the Doge. You guys know how much I love the Doge. She's been a loyal supporter. This is Donald Trump's post from Truth Social. She's been a loyal supporter of mine at many years and will bring her professional experience to government efficiency, and she's a deeply experienced communications professional respected by all. So we've got another appointment. Well, here's something interesting, too. Speaking of Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz posted this. If you can't beat him, join him. But look at this headline here. This is from the Rolling Stone. The Rolling Stone posted this. Gaetz openly considers running for Rubio's Senate seat. Is that a troll? He says, maybe I'll just run for Marco Rubio's vacant seat in the United States Senate and join some of those folks. That was published by the Rolling Stone, December 22nd, 2024. But with this investigation that has just come out, I think Matt Gaetz is going to just be warming a seat in a studio, talking to a camera. And that's unfortunate. Elon Musk talking about awareness. He's quote tweeting Lulu Chang for awareness. Note the language here. It's very intentional strategy that goes to weaken Trump and Elon by fomenting tension between them. If you remember what happened the other day, our last show, we exposed the media narrative regarding the wedge that's being driven between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I mean, we were one of the first people to report on it. And now Elon Musk is actually reacting. That's the goal. The political and legacy media puppets all got their new instructions yesterday and are now parroting the same message to drive a wedge between Trump and me. They will fail. There's no question that Elon Musk was watching this show. He saw our posts. He saw us pushing back on the narrative. We played plenty of clips showing the how the media across all channels and in government were all trying to drive a wedge. Elon Musk clearly hip to it. And I thought I should play this for you too. David Harris Jr. posted this. A California woman warns her local government that Homan is coming and they're all going to jail. Speaking of Donald Trump appointments, Elon Musk, we got the Byron Donalds thing, we got the DeSantis thing, of course, Tom Homan, he's a new border czar. But I thought this clip was solid gold. Listen to this woman.
My person uses the name Audra. I think 2025 is going to be pretty exciting. Because when you guys say "fuck you" to the federal government, they're going to say "fuck you" too. Because you guys think that you don't like what we do, but you're going to have a sore awakening when the federal government comes after you for aiding and abetting, and they're going to be like, you get a jail cell, 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 you get a jail cell. Probably all of you guys too. So it's going to be actually really exciting. And I bet you guys are terrified, but you're going to continue to go down this same path of, with your UN agenda. It's going to be great to see it all unfold and unravel and be flushed down the toilet like the pure water you want us to drink. It's good. It's going to be fantastic because Tom Homan is going to come after you. And then my gavel broke. It's good.
Oh, man, isn't that solid gold? Oh, yeah. Tom Homan has already said that he's going to go after anyone who opposes them, who are breaking federal law. I just thought that clip was solid gold. You see, Trump's even responded to this this wedge the media is trying to create. Trump issues response to the idea that he ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. Let's listen to what President Trump had to say at the Turning Point event.
But Russia, Ukraine, all the different hoaxes. And the new one is President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? Right? Don't we want that? He's done a great job. And I'll tell you, he landed that rocket a few months ago. It landed, it's coming down so fast, 17,000 miles an hour, he says, and coming down, it looks like it's getting ready. And then all of a sudden, the jets go on, it slows it down, then it's almost stopped it. Then it guides it over left, right, up, high, down. I said, what the hell's going on? Because nobody ever saw this before. And then it has the big gantry, very expensive. It looks like it's going to be smashed to smithereens. And then those jet engines roared from the bottom. It's coming in this way, a little hot. And the engines, blah, pushed it straight, it landed. And it was like you're hugging a beautiful baby. A baby. No, not that baby. But it was the most incredible thing. And then he got into his car and or plane or whatever, however he went, and he went to Pennsylvania, and he stayed up there for a month and helped us to win that state, which we won by a lot. So he was really good. And he supplied Starlink for North Carolina when they had no form of communication. They said, sir, do you know Elon Musk? Yeah. Well, we can't get Starlink. It's very hard to get. And I called Elon, we have to get some up there. You got to get some up there. And he got over 2,000 units. It's a lot. And they flooded it with Starlink, and it was so good. It saved a lot of lives, so we want to thank him. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. But the fake news knows that. No, he's a great guy, and we want to have him. Everybody, so many people are in this audience that have helped. So to an extent that you wouldn't believe, but we're going to bring transparency. Russia, Ukraine.
So I asked you guys to get that message from our last report to President Trump, and you guys answered, and clearly President Trump got the memo, and so did Elon Musk. And we deconstructed and just tore apart that narrative in real time. And then we've got this bizarre ad from the Lincoln Project. It's called Vice President Donald Trump. They're still trying to push that narrative, even though we have deconstructed it.
Meanwhile, the Lincoln Project salutes Vice President Donald Trump. As Vice President, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest. Talk about old movies, playing on his phone, admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country. We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position. Elon is smarter, wealthier, more charismatic, has a far superior and more successful social media platform and company, is more successful with women, and a better dancer. As President Musk and his assistant J.D. Vance select appointees and write policies, we feel certain Trump will play his part because he's a good boy. Who's a good boy? Trump's a good boy.
Yeah, the Never Trumpers never give up. And, they're irrelevant, but I thought you should know. And then Elon Musk posting, quote tweeting this. Well, let's find out, shall we? And Rothman's posting this meme. You can see it right there. Look at the meme. You got 3 boats there, and you got several names. Elon Musk, about to find out. Yes, we will. And then we've got this. I love him. I think he would make a great Speaker of the House. Well, now, Matt Gaetz' GOP buddies are preparing to carry out his revenge plan. And Gaetz says, I get by with a little help from my friends. Now, I don't think that Gaetz is going to go as Speaker of the House. I mean, that would be interesting. That report, though, is pretty damning. But according to this article here, Gaetz has instructed members of Congress to release the names of the members of Congress who have dipped into a special fund that basically pays off people who have had interactions with women, I guess is the phrase we should say. So if that actually happens, and that list, aside from the other list, is released, you're going to see a massive swamp draining real quickly. Chase Geyser posting this earlier today. Speaking of Doge and Elon Musk, over $1 trillion in government waste has been targeted for Musk and Vivek to eliminate with Doge. And he lists some examples. I went through the list. We've got a list too from Rand Paul I'm going to share with you in a moment. $892 billion interest on the national debt for fiscal year 2024 expected to rise to $1 trillion annually by 2025. $90 billion ineffective Navy littoral combat ship program with severe design and operational failures. $90 billion. $15.5 billion Department of Energy to promote electric vehicles despite low consumer demand and high industry losses. $10 billion maintaining, leasing, and furnishing underutilized federal office buildings. $20 million Fertilize Right initiative for overseas agriculture projects in countries like Pakistan, Vietnam, and Brazil. Why? Why are we subsidizing agricultural projects overseas? I have no idea. This is just the beginning. $700 million pandemic-era loan to Yellow Trucking Company, which filed for bankruptcy. How do you file for bankruptcy after you get $700 million? Crazy. Highlighted line items. Ready for this? $12 million for a Las Vegas pickleball complex funded by the Department of the Interior. What? $4.8 million the U.S. Department of State spent on Ukrainian influencer programs. $4.8 million. And I guess we should really look at those as propaganda programs, paying influencers to push the Department of State's messaging. $2.24 million for COVID-19 feline experiments by NIH and USDA. Feline experiments? They're using cats. $288,563 for creation of bird-watching affinity groups to promote DEI initiatives. Bird-watching affinity groups. $288,000. $108,000 for renovation of a non-functional hotel. $365,000 funding for circus performances in U.S. city parks. Wow, okay. Oh, here's another one. Ready for this one? Look at this. $720,000 for wetland conservation projects for ducks in Mexico. Why the hell are we spending that much money for ducks in Mexico? Did the ducks see a dime? $20 million for a Sesame Street program in Iraq aimed at promoting inclusion and mutual respect. Man, I would love to see that video. $32,000 U.S. taxpayer funding for breakdancing workshops abroad. $253,000 for misinformation awareness campaigns in Bosnia. Again, why are we funding these programs? That is why Doge is so critically important. Oh, and there's more, friends. We are not done with this party. Your tax dollars are being wasted on nothing. 15 hours ago, Elon Musk posted that. Quote tweeting Representative Andy Biggs, more than 75% of federal office space sits vacant with only 6% of federal employees working in person on a regular basis. And then we have this from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, this was in late November, but it gives you a taste of what's to come.
We'll be looking at everything government funded too.
Tell us what you see as the most government waste.
It's all over. Every single government department, program, grant programs, contracts, it is everywhere. And so when we look into a deep dive into this massive problem that's caused America to be $36 trillion in debt, we're going to have to go into all kinds of buckets. And that's how I'll be separating things on the oversight subcommittee on DOGE. We'll be looking at everything from government-funded media programs like NPR that spread nothing but Democrat propaganda. We'll be going into grant programs that fund things like sex apps in Malaysia, toilets in Africa, all kinds of programs that don't help the American people. I want to talk to the people at the Pentagon and ask them why they can't find billions of dollars every single year and why they fail their audit. But not just that, too.
Oh, this is just the beginning, folks. This is just the beginning. Senator Rand Paul says he controls one committee and will use it to ram through all of Trump's cabinet nominees and that he can. And Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy Jr. will be confirmed. And then we're going to get to his Festivus report. Everyone loves the Rand Paul Festivus report, but let's listen to how Rand Paul intends to assist Donald Trump in getting his nominees through.
On day,
Are you going to be supporting all of President Trump's nominees for his cabinet?
I couldn't be happier with his nominees. I couldn't have picked better. I mean, some of them are people exactly I would have picked. Marty McCary at FDA, Jay Bhattacharya at NIH, Bobby Kennedy, Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, just the list goes on and on. Pete Hegseth, good people. And yes, the vast majority I will support. On day one, we'll try to get Kristi Noem through Department of Homeland Security. Russ Vogt for OMB. We're going to work hard to get, I think in the first week, you'll have a half a dozen of them approved in the first week. I will control one committee, and that committee I pledge to get them through as quickly as possible.
All right. We'll be watching your work, Senator.
Yes, we will be watching your work, Senator. Okay, you guys ready for Rand Paul's Festivus report? Rand Paul previews his Festivus report on wasteful government spending, blasting $760 million NIH funds on DEI and $600,000 to study microaggressions among obese Latinx. With Elon Musk's DOGE initiative spotlighting waste, the push to slash spending gains momentum. And as you know, who's Rand Paul's father? Come on, let me hear you. Ron Paul, of course, Ron Paul. Ron Paul is what? He is working with Elon and Vivek and Donald Trump in the DOGE. And we got Rand in the Senate also putting this beautiful list together. I mean, disgusting list. Let's watch.
Race, that's crazy.
And to that end, that is why you had lots of drama over the week, this past week, with critics circling the wagon around Mike Johnson. You just said he doesn't have a spine, and you tweeted out this week. The Speaker of the House need not be a member of Congress. Nothing would disrupt the swamp more than electing Elon Musk. Think about it. You write, nothing's impossible, not to mention the joy at seeing the collective establishment, a.k.a. the Uniparty, lose their ever-loving minds. Were you serious about this, considering Elon Musk for Speaker?
It might have been a little tongue-in-cheek. I think Elon's got some important stuff to do, building rockets and making Teslas. But I do appreciate his input, and he has changed the debate. He's drawing attention to the things I've been talking about for a decade, the waste. Tomorrow we'll be celebrating Festivus, the made-up Seinfeld holiday. But in that, we will be talking about a lot of the waste we've talked. I mean, ridiculous, crazy things. For example, $760 million spent at the NIH on diversity, equity, inclusion. I thought they were studying science over there. Nope, it's about race. That's crazy. $600,000 to discuss why there are microaggressions among obese Latinx. What does that even mean? Even Latin American people think Latinx is a stupid term. These are people who can't figure out their gender, Latinx, who are fat, who are having microaggressions against each other. This is the insanity. This is why we can't rest until we cut spending, and we can't just raise the debt ceiling without actually cutting spending.
Yeah, I look forward to your list tomorrow on this Festivus holiday, the made-up holiday, where you're going to come up with all of that. That's incredible, that list that you just gave us right there.
So it is all happening. Here is Pete Hegseth. You know, he has been appointed to Secretary of Defense. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Just as the left is trying to turn this into a trial in the media, a show trial, and we're not going to let that happen. I'm going to walk into the door of every one of these senators with just as an open book, willing to answer their questions because they deserve answers. And that will be, I've heard great things about all of these senators and the questions they want to ask. And we look forward to earning these votes. That's what it's about. Ultimately, earning the votes through the committee and through the entire U.S. Senate. And hopefully I'll have the honor of being able to stand up for our warfighters. That's what this is all about. It's all about the men and women who put the uniform on for us. They want someone who's kicked down doors, had their back in the past in that top spot.
The media mob doing what they predictably do. You had a consensual relationship. It was investigated. You were fully exonerated. And correct me if I'm wrong here, wasn't there videotape evidence that was largely responsible for exonerating you?
I mean, in addition to personal witnesses and all of that, it was fully investigated at the time years ago, and I was completely cleared. And that's why, Sean, you know what I look forward to? I look forward to the FBI background check. I look forward to the actual under oath conversations with senators as we go through the process, because, again, this is what the left does, Sean. It's the anatomy of a smear. They take something and then they add anonymous sources and contortions and flat out lies, and then they try to try you in the media before you can even get into the doors with senators. And this is where I give so much credit to President Trump. He's got a backbone of steel. He never backs down. He called me and said, Pete, you keep fighting. And when he picked me, he said, Pete, it's because I know you can do this. You're going to have to be tough as hell. Stare these folks down and stand up for the change that needs to come to the Defense Department for our men and women in uniform. So if he can do what he's done, Sean, then I can stick up to this lying press and fight on for the American people and our warfighters.
Let's go. Let's go. Here is Senator Fetterman. You guys hear about this? I mean, Fetterman is just like shocking me all around with the comments that he's making these days. Let's listen.
But we had... You met with Kash Patel, I believe, right? Yesterday, well, yes.
He's talked about going after Trump's enemies.
Yeah, and we've had conversations, but we had, all of these interviews were all off the record, and those things. So I'm not going to go into detail, but he absolutely that's never going to happen. Like he was very.
He's not going to use the FBI to go after Trump's enemies.
Like, no, that's not it. Or
did you believe him?
Taken.
I mean, he's written a lot.
That's what he claims.
Yeah.
And I found out, his family's origin story and immigration, and we talked about that. And my family immigration and things. And so I learned things about him. I never knew that he was a public defender.
You met with Kash Patel, I believe, right?
And then, okay, so it's not just that. Okay, check this out. Listen to what Fetterman said. I mean, this blew my mind. I mean, this is a new narrative that I think a lot of people on the left are going to start paying attention to. Just listen.
He has the potential to be a successful and a good president?
I hope, because I'm not rooting against him. If you're rooting against the president, you are rooting against the nation. And I'm not ever going to be where I want a president to fail. So country first. I know it's become maybe like a cliche, but it happens to be true.
Do you think?
Wow, think about that. Think about what he just said. It's a big freaking deal. And that's a narrative. People are like, listen, don't root against the president. It's stupid. So anyway, what else have we got here? Make sure I've got covered all the pieces here. I think what the big thing here, the big takeaway right now is keeping a close eye on what's happening in Florida. Because with Rubio now going to Secretary of State, you've got that spot, that Senate spot. I mean, that is an amazing position to hold. And Ron DeSantis has it in his power to appoint that next senator. And if he pulls Byron Daniels out, then we have Jack Lombardi ready to step in. And that's the man that we need to see taking that congressional seat. So what you're witnessing isn't just a political reshuffling. It's a complete revolution in American governance. From the strategic positioning of Byron Donalds for Senate to the appointment of efficiency experts like Katie Miller, Trump is building a government that works for you, not against you. With Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy targeting over $2 trillion in government waste, the days of bloated bureaucracy are numbered. And the left's in panic mode because they know this is not politics as usual. This is the complete transformation of American government. So here is tonight's question. Which Trump appointment do you think will have the biggest impact on draining the swamp? Doge? New Senate appointments? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to grab your limited edition MAGAvengers gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. It's down link below. Show the world you stand for smaller and smarter government.